of the weekend, everybody. Let's get it going with NBA action. On 2K Sports. Here with Greg Anthony and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. And we've got Allie LaForce reporting from the sideline. This, their first look at this year's Toronto squad. A year ago, they each gained a victory at home, but couldn't secure a win on the road.
And going back a season ago, it was a win for both sides in their two meetings.
You know, despite the disparity in talent, these two teams played each other tough last year. Let's see how competitive they are this time around.
Just in a perfect position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
Ref's calling it close already as he picks up a quick early foul.
And here's Arenas. He's provided them with some scoring punch and is averaging 13 points a game. Stolen by Webber. Well, Greg, I hope you're ready. We're going to be cranking our heads back and forth, watching these teams race up and down the floor all game long.
And this is the definition of an exciting matchup. Don't be shocked if the 24-second clock doesn't come into play. They like to keep the pace fast.
Here's Arenas. Makes it off the glass.
Getting something that close to the cup is a win as far as possessions go.
Maxey feeling it out a bit. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
When a pick like that is questionable and creates that much of an advantage for the offense, you have to blow the whistle.
I don't think there's any question. There are so many rules that favor the offense these days. You've got to be able to equal things out when an illegal screen is set.
Now, here's Bridges. Shot clock at 5. Webber pulls it in.
Boy, he had a clear look at it. Ooh, you hate to miss chippies like that.
And Greg, the Thunder, NBA champions at last, and still incredibly young.
And this is no fluke. They defended, they shared it, trusted in the system and one another. The league's been put on notice. This team is just getting started. I tell you what, you better watch out, fellas. He is on fire here today.
Outside Holiday. And stolen by Dunn. And now Maxey pushing it up, and no one back there to stop him. And Miller throws it down hard.
Add that to the highlight reel for Miller. I'm sure it'll grow quickly.
Outside Holiday. Off target with his 3. Fast break Toronto. And then Buzelis with the dunk. Oklahoma City trailing. And there's the whistle. That goes on Chris Dunn. That's foul number 2 for him.
Now you have to be a little bit more cautious on the defensive end. That's his second, and there's a long way to go.
And timeout called by Darko Rajakovic. He's going to take a minute here to get things straightened out. So it's both teams making substitutions here. We're about 3 minutes into this first quarter. Mobley is screen. Arenas. It's hauled in by the Raptors. How about this run, Craig, they're on right now? Wow.
I mean, they're just getting to their spots and executing. Really keeping things simple.
Now here's Jackson. 6 to shoot. Maxey into the lane. Buzelis. And Sarr pulls it down. And let's go to the sideline. Here's Allen.
Mark Daigneault gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. I brought up Tyrese Maxey and I asked him what makes him so hard to guard. He said, quote, to put things simply, his speed and his decision making. He's one of the fastest guys in the game and also picks smart shots to take. That combination is lethal. We'll see how his defense fares against Maxey tonight. Guys.
All right, Allie, thanks. Pass to Weber. Over Sarr. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation. There's 57 seconds left in the first. Arenas goes in. Score the basket. His 4th. He's only missed 1 of his 5 shots tonight. Toronto trailing. Outside, Maxey. Here's Buzelis. And then Buzelis with the dunk.
And throwing it down, not necessarily Buzelis' game, but don't give him that much space.
Yep, it counts.
This guy has been in attack mode this quarter. The defense might want to intercede here.
Here's Maxey. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
And with how explosive Maxey is, he's not your average guard in the paint.
To the right side. The kick out to Mobley. A three-pointer off the mark. And so it's Gilbert Arenas making things happen for the Thunder. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. Back to the... And getting going again here in the second quarter. Fairly close game so far. What stands out to you from Oklahoma City in this one?
Well, look at the turnover ratio, then look at the score. Easy to see what happened in that first period.
Offensively, they took care of the ball. And defensively, they forced a number of miscues.
Just focusing on the task at hand. That's all you can do.
Boy, the tide is running one way and then shifts back in the other direction. I've lost count of how many lead changes we've had here tonight.
And so Mark Daigneault calls a timeout. Looking for a breather and maybe adjusting a thing or two. change it. And so Mark Daigneault calls a timeout. He's ready to talk things through with them. And GA, a lot of the best defensive teams in the league have some stout zone looks they can go to. Where do those in a game come in handy?
I mean, often it's a way of challenging opponents to make perimeter shots, but also you want to show different looks just to kind of disrupt the rhythm of a team's offensive flow.
Here is Arenas. Mobley is screened. Outside Holiday. Clock at 6. Here's Sarr. And it's blocked. Miller surveying the floor. And Reed has it in the corner. Here's Weber. And Sarr pulls it down.
You know, you'd love to see him pull that off, but instead he goes from highlight reel to the bloopers.
And now let's swing it over to Allie LaForce on the sideline.
Hey, guys. Tyrese Maxey, a late first-round pick back in 2020, but he's become an all-star. He said, quote, "I've always had that chip with me from day one. I had to earn everything I got from a basketball perspective and make a name for myself. I try hard to foresee and envision this." Kevin, back to you.
The drive for greatness, something to watch. All right, Allie, we appreciate the report.
Oh, my goodness, the size and athleticism of Evan Mobley. What a sight to behold.
On deep, Arenas. It's good. Now he's shooting 6 for 7.
And he has his fingerprints all over this first half. He is just shooting it so efficiently.
And Doris, the Raptors, it would seem further ahead defensively than they are at the offensive end.
Kevin, it's an organization that historically looks for size. They have a lot of length and athleticism. The ability to force turnovers and be disruptive is something they identify, and then they want to push in transition. They're actually an entertaining group.
And again, no good by Toronto. Oklahoma City leading by 3. Holiday, no one around him. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
We know unequivocally Evan Mobley has length. He's got timing. This guy eats up rebounds.
And Reed has it in the corner. Weber, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
That is really good work there on the offensive glass.
Here's Arenas. Count that as his 7th field goal in 9 tries. He's shooting 78%.
This guy has been a key to their success tonight. He's been selective and efficient.
Weber a screen. Here's Maxey. It's blocked.
Great timing on the rejection there. This young kid, Sarr, has major defensive potential.
Comes up empty down low. Raptors trailed by 5. Maxey on the wing. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. Pass to Mobley. And Mobley throws it down.
Making it look easy. Mobley using that size at the rim.
And timeout called by Darko Rajakovic. He made the decision to huddle up with his guys and talk about strategy. teams will make substitutions. Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. Now, here's Sexton. Here's Shannon. And Davis sends it back.
If you're near the hoop, you have to know where Davis is, or the brow will make you pay.
And they repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Back to Green. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Thunder will retain possession.
Yeah, gets a finger on it, but just can't quite come up with the steal.
But a really good read on his part, being disruptive at the defensive end right now.
Here's Exum. And the shot goes down. Exum's got the lead back up to 7 now for Oklahoma City.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Green gets the bucket.
Sometimes trailing in the game, players get sucked into trying to make that home run play.
Outside, Green. And finished off by Anthony Davis.
Great effort on the boards. AD playing hard.
Here's Buzelis. And then Buzelis with the dunk.
Oh, an aggressive move and fantastic finish.
Trying to send a message with that slam, I think.
Second personal foul.
The Thunder leading by 4. Exum with it. Rebounded by Jackson.
Boy, tough break there. Defense leaves him wide open. He can't get the mid-range to go. Ouch.
Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
The very definition of quality transition offense. If it can end at the cup, it's exactly where you want it.
Hachimura, no good. Here's Buzelis. And he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. And that'll do it for the first half. A competitive game so far. Thunder lead by 1. We'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball. And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. And here are the Raptors now. It's a 1-point game. Next up for them, the Knicks coming out here to play. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again.
What a big-time talent Brandon Miller is. Send it home, young sir.
And a rangy 6'7" wing GA with a smooth shooting touch. Brandon Miller fits the mold that a lot of teams are looking for.
And there's a reason he was the second overall pick in 23. He's got the potential to be an impact wing at both ends of the floor.
And looking so agile on that day. His teammates love seeing him in attack mode against the defense.
Neither side has relented a bit in this back-and-forth affair.
And you can sense the energy in the building already as this game is starting to build towards having a terrific finish.
Good ball movement here by the Raptors. Buzelis, no one around him. It's good from long range. Buzelis has got 9 points. Locked loose. Here's Hachimura. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
The skill set of Rui Hachimura is enticing, guys. A big man who can stretch the floor with his shooting. Obviously of huge value in the modern game.
GA now in year 3 under Darko Rajakovic. The Raptors are staying the course.
His contract runs through next season, and he's all in on developing these young players and getting the best out of them.
And Lopez has it in the corner. Driving the lane. And the dunk by Lopez.
Wow, powerful Lopez making no mistake about it. What a forceful finish.
Here's Davis. Pass to Green. And he drops in the layup off the glass. And the Thunder lead by 1. As we approach the fourth quarter, still anyone's ballgame.
Yeah, neither team able to create much of a cushion.
Now, let's take a minute to talk to Allie LaForce courtside. Allie.
Thanks, guys. Raptors coach Darko Rajakovic explained what he's looking for on the offensive end. He said, quote, it's unselfishness, ball and body movement, playing together and making each other better. Also, you have to be able to adjust. Basketball is not set in stone. If it was, it would be a recipe. Back to you.
Yeah, you got to roll with the punches. Thank you, Allie. And it's denied.
Making good use of his length, Buzelis able to track down the block that time.
And so Mark Daigneault calls a timeout. He's going to make some adjustments to the game plan. Both teams making some changes here. Outside Arenas. In it goes for the 8th time in 10 tries.
You know, his selectiveness is worth mentioning here. This guy is not forcing shots, and yet he is cooking.
Outside Reed. Oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. Pass to Song. And the foul called on Alex Song. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, really good defensive play to cut him off there and square up.
Raptors trailed by 3. It's stolen by Brown. And now we're 3 minutes into the third quarter of play. Green, no luck. And the Raptors with the ball. Here's Shannon. Hasn't made one yet. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
And credit the screen for giving him the space he needed to get to the rim.
For sure, GA allows him to come in with the sledgehammer.
Boy, that's a play you just practice time and time again, and that's the result of the work put in.
Forcing the action down low. Green earning a trip to the stripe.
And, Greg, you watch Jalen Green. So much upside potential.
Yeah, he could be streaky, but one of the most combustible scorers in the league. When he's on, he can take over single-handedly. And nice mechanics from Miller there. Ready to fire as that pass is coming.
The Raptors with the lead. Pass to Weber. 1:10 left in the third. To the middle. And stolen by Song. Now Arenas. That's tipped. And here's the fast break. Maxey leading the way. And Weber throws it down.
And Weber just tremendous size in the paint. Easily rising up to take that one home.
Right side Green. The Thunder with another miss.
Boy, not his best quarter. He's trying to break through.
That one good for 2. Now it's a 5-point Raptor lead.
And after really leaning on that three-point shot in the first half, seeming like they're just getting away from it here in the second. More of the shots coming from the interior.
And so Mark Daigneault calls a timeout. This now will give him a chance to discuss some potential changes. Several teams changing it up here. Now Arenas, 17 points in the game. Here's Hachimura. And again, no good by Oklahoma City.
Right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone.
And here's Sexton. Pass to Shannon. Just 5 to shoot. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. The third quarter comes to a close. Toronto ahead as they end the third quarter on a 9.
The Raptors, 44.
And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. Thunder trailing by 5. Pass to Hachimura. He's looking for Arenas and finds him now. Overdone. Arenas can't hit.
Boy, he looks and will take that shot every time. Just won't go.
Buzelis' shot is good. Buzelis has got the lead up to 7 now for the Raptors.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Let's go to the sideline and see what Allie LaForce has dug up for us. Allie, take it away.
Thanks, guys. Mark Daigneault had some words for his team over the last break. And Coach challenged the team, asking them to bring the fight inside, telling them to play with pride, telling the team, you're getting bullied near the hoop. Let's see if it works, guys.
Thank you once again, Allie.
First team foul.
It's stolen by Buzelis. Dunn's shot's good. Dunn's got his first 2 points of the night. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Raptors.
And they've shown great focus on the defensive end, putting constant pressure on the ball and really disruptive in terms of what they've done defensively.
And you also have to love the way they've gotten out and run in transition. A ton of good chances tonight simply from being willing to run the floor.
Pass to Buzelis. Now, here's Maxey. Shot clock at 6. Weber a screen. The Raptors need to get a shot. Buzelis. And he can't extend the lead to double digits. Now, here's Mobley. And stolen by Dunn. Outside, Maxey. And there's the drive. Miller outside. There's the triple. Gets the three-pointer to fall. And the Raptors lead by 10.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
They set the pick. It's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Miller.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Holiday outside. Now Davis. It's stolen by Buzelis. Maxey fires. Trained from outside.
Their ability, again, to stretch the floor, particularly in this second half.
And guys, boy, when you're hitting, it sure does work. It obviously opens up major options at the offensive end.
And the definition of teamwork right there on that alley-oop.
And Greg, what about the finish? Bringing it down with some thunder. Yeah. Here's Bridges. He'll put back. Hustles for the rebound and guides it back in.
Okay, Evan Mobley, that's one way to pick up some loose change.
Stolen by Holiday. One-on-one here. And stolen by Maxey. And the officials have called the illegal screen right there.
Beyond the lean, you can see his feet weren't set on that screen. Easy call.
You know, he's just leaning a little bit. You try to get away with it, but boy, the official all over it.
Now Holiday fires the three. Buries the deep ball.
Holiday is a guy, because of his physique, he can put it on the deck and drive, but I love when he spaces the floor with his shooting.
Weber a screen. Puts up the three. Holiday there for the rebound. Thunder trailing by 8. Arenas goes in. Reed with it. 55 seconds left in the game. And stolen by Mobley. Oh, good on the layup. And it's the Raptors' ball. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game.
Spirited performance. You love to get this kind of win, especially on the road.
You've got to be able to block out all distractions in enemy territory. This team did a tremendous job staying focused on the task at hand.
Here's Miller. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. The response, slamming it home.
Saw the opportunity to put this away and did not turn it down.
Yeah, playing with great energy and great effort. And as a coach, you'd love to see this from your team every single night.
And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road and win in the fashion they did, you have to feel good about it. Really an outstanding effort all the way around.